Welcome, one. Welcome, all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. And you guys know what station we're on. We're on, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
That's right, folks. Vaughn Radio. And it's time for Liftoff.
T-minus 10,
9,
8, 7, 6,
5.
4,
I can never get the
3,
countdown right. I don't know what's
2,
wrong with me.
1,
Am I
0,
that bad at math?
ignition,
Oh, man.
Liftoff.
What a disaster.
liftoff.
I need some tutoring. At 45. Remember, we don't say with 45. At 45. Con 45 años.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat.
Hold on, folks.
Your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show
With no
It's show with no
name
name
time.
on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Let's go.
That's right, amigos. Welcome, one. Welcome, all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. I trust that you are all warmed up. Fijaos cómo pronuncio eso. Warmed up. No warmed up, sino warmed up. I trust that you guys are warmed up from my buddy Fitz, my pal Fitz, who, by the way, is going to be paying me a visit today. What? Pagarme? Una visita? Well, no. In English, that's how we say hacer una visita. So my buddy Fitz is paying me a visit today, and we're going to be recording an upcoming episode of FYI for, you guessed it, my amigos, St. Patrick's Day. This Irish holiday that's really a global holiday. So I'm looking forward to recording with Fitz. Remember, his program, No Excuses, goes through the Vaughn Method. And today we're going to look at some stuff from the Vaughn Method, as always. I've got 2 books because yesterday I was at the Vaughn Tienda. You guys know me. I've got 4 of my own books in the Vaughn Tienda. I've participated on probably hundreds of materials. And one of the great things is there's always new stuff. So I've got my hands on a copy of, and this is an interesting word because it sounds como si fuera una versión pirata. No. A copy es un ejemplar. I've got my copy, my hands on 2 copies. So I've got one book called Essential English, el inglés imprescindible para situaciones cotidianas. Now, if you're somebody who likes to travel, if you're somebody who likes to get out there and meet people, you like to go to restaurants, you like to go to bars, this is awesome. And as with all our Vaughn materials, you literally have, I think, hours of audio to help you pronounce these structures. Look, traveling, holidays, let's see what else. At the electrical store, right? If you have to go to the hardware store. Talking about furniture. At the furniture shop the other day, my daughter, we were looking for a folder to put her stuff because she makes art projects in school. And we were looking for a folder. And she said, ask Papi. My wife said, ask Papi if he has una carpeta. So Lara came back to the office and she says, Papi, do you have a carpet? And I go, yes, but that's not what you're looking for. Remember, that's a false friend. She was looking to say the word folder, carpeta. The good news about these false friends, I would say maybe there's about 50, maybe 25 of them that are in common use. So learn the false friends. I mean, that could be a great homework assignment for this week. Make a list of those big false friends, the ones that, even though you know them and you're conscious of them, you always fall into their traps. And welcome, my amigos. A nice applause for all our show with no namers. I know you guys are ready to rock. If you guys want any of these materials, I just want to remind you, you can go by the Von Tienda. It's vontienda.com, or you can stop by in person. Oh, and we've got an upcoming event. It's Von Radio Trivia Night. That's right, it's time for another Von Radio Trivia Night, this time with Guy Williams from Western Civilization. We'll see you at Roll Madrid, March 1st. It kicks off at 8:30 p.m. Von Radio Trivia Nights, hosted by Guy Williams. I'll see you guys there. And I'm serious. I'm hoping. I mean, as a parent, you can never confirm anything 100%, as many of you know. So I won't but I mean, our plan is to be there no matter what. Pase lo que pase, by hook or by crook. And I see we've got so many amigos joining us. So let's kick off with our first challenge of today, our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Let's go. Pop quiz. What? Pop quiz, I said. Pop quiz. Yeah. Pop quiz. Ow. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Wow. That's right, folks. That's right. It's our pop quiz. And folks, today it has a little something to do with luck. So that's great. That's a good segue, transición, because we're going to be taking a look at luck when we talk about St. Patrick's Day on FYI. I can't wait. As I said, that's going to be coming out on St. Patrick's Day, but we're recording it today. And I don't know who's more excited about that, Fitz or me. So, but I think it's going to be a really fun episode. So, guys, a lot of really wonderful episodes, and not just because I say so, but because we've got some amazing guests coming up on FYI for Your Ingles, which, as you guys know, that's my self-produced podcast. That's a podcast I put out every week. I've been doing it for almost 3 years. There are hundreds of episodes, over 200 episodes produced and being produced every week. So we've got some amazing guests coming up. We've got Richard Vaughn on the podcast and Fitz as well to talk about this awesome holiday. He's going to tell us all about some of the misconceptions, las cosas que la gente, ideas equivocadas, I think you would say, right? Misconceptions that people have about St. Patrick's Day, because it's celebrated all over the world, but I'd like to know how it's celebrated in the Emerald Isle. Emerald, I think you say Esmeralda. It's a color, Emerald Isle. And Isle, I-S-L-E, is another way of saying island, right? The British Isles es isle, se escribe. I know it should be pronounced isle, but it's not. It's pronounced isle. And it sounds exactly like, these are three very confusing words, but they sound exactly the same. So the one I just told you, then you have isle, pasillo, aisle, aisle, que se pronuncia igual. And then I'll, yo más el futuro. I'll have a coffee, please. Yo me tomaré un café, por favor. So, folks, I hope you are ready for our pop quiz. It comes right out of a book that Ximena, a great friend of ours, she is magical. Well, she signed it. I've got her autograph over here. It's called Natural English, and this is a material that Ximena has worked on herself. It's Tu Guía Definitiva del Inglés Natural. And if you want to speak like we speak, which I think that's the goal. I mean, when I speak Spanish, I want to sound like you guys. Like, I don't want to sound like a newscaster, right? Uno que da la noticia, because that's hello, good morning. I want to sound natural. And I think that's the key here. This book works on, like I just said when we started the show, I said, I know you warmed up with. I didn't say warmed up with, because it's not said like that. So it focuses on those little things. Also, some of the vocabulary that you can replace. Reemplazar. For example, my students have a love-hate relationship with the word very, right? If you ask me, they use it very much, too much, way too much. And they mispronounce it too much as well. A lot of people say Betty. I'm Betty happy. I'm Betty. And you know what? You can replace this word completely with the word really, and you'll sound more native. So I'm really happy. I'm really hungry. There's another little homework assignment, if you will. And I think it's important. You've got to give yourselves tasks, tareas, right? Things that you can do, exercises that you can do to help you with your English. And little small, you got to have your long-term goal, which I imagine is to become a better communicator in English, to understand more, to feel more comfortable using the language. I imagine you all share those. But then individually, you all have to have your own little mini goals. As I don't know if they're called that way, but I think it makes sense. They're mini goals. So you can do different exercises aloud. You should read books. I mean, everybody knows, you should know what you need to work on. And you should honestly, I mean, regardless of what you have to work on, you should work on everything a little bit. Gaining and acquiring more vocabulary, working on sounding better when you speak, understanding more, opening your ear, right? That's why we do the Say What soundbite as well. Remember, you have a wonderful exercise that you can do on Amazon's Alexa. Ahora puedes aprender inglés con Vaughan y Alexa de Amazon. Solo tienes que decir:
Alexa, quiero aprender inglés.
Bienvenido a Aprende Idiomas con Alexa. Hoy vas a poder aprender lecciones de inglés nivel iniciación con Alexa en colaboración con Vaughan. Podrás aprender desde nuevo vocabulario a pronunciación y mucho más. Cada lección contiene secciones de práctica y de preguntas. Empecemos. Veamos ahora 5 actividades con el verbo ir.
To go.
Ir al gimnasio es.
To go to the gym.
La G de
Gym.
suena casi como una H.
To go to the gym.
Dilo tú.
To go to the gym.
Correcto.
Eso es. Practica inglés con Vaughan y con Alexa de Amazon. Acuérdate, solo tienes que decir:
Alexa, quiero aprender inglés.
esto sí que es un...
Buen comienzo. Te toca.
That's right, folks. It's your turn. Even if you have an Apple phone like I do, you can download the app and you can start using it. Again, we love your feedback. You can always give us feedback by, you can follow us. The easiest way, I think, and I think everybody these days, sadly, and I guess it's like everything. It's a double-edged sword. everybody's on social media. So you should follow us on social media. You'll find out about upcoming things like our Oxford test of English that we'll be doing as of March, a partir de marzo. All right, let's take a look at our pop quiz. Again, this is coming straight from the new book. It's brand new, Natural English. It's Ximena Holiday and Company, and it's Tu Guía Definitiva del Inglés Natural. Again, with tons of hours of audio. And this chapter, the second chapter, deals with when you're feeling lucky. Now, I know a lot of people know the word lucky. The only problem is, I've heard a lot of people say Lucky. No? ¿Cómo se llama el personaje? Lucky Luke or Lucky Luke? Okay, just asking for a friend. Just asking for a friend. All right, well, here we go. We've got a couple different expressions. I'm going to give them to you in Spanish, and I want you to use whichever one speaks to you. La que te guste más a ti. La que te habla, la que te dice algo a ti. All right. And you can use a variation of these. The idea is to look at a lot of different ways to talk about luck and being lucky. Mira, ahí directamente, luck, sustantivo. Lucky, adjetivo. No nos liemos. The first one is estar en racha. You know what? I think we're gonna rule that one out, right? Discard it. Descartar. Yeah. Well, you know why? Because we say it every day. To be on a roll, to be on fire. Many other ways to say it. You're kicking ass. So we'll leave that one out. But let's try this one here. I'll give you three options. Use whichever one you want, but please use them in context, and preferably a context where you would actually use it. Donde lo usarías de verdad. I mean, that's what it's about. It's not just about learning stuff. It's learning stuff and then saying, okay, how do I apply this? Where do I apply this? When will I use this? So you have it ready. Next time you're at the barber shop, te sale la frase, just trim it a little bit. Recórtalo un poquitín. All right, so tentar la suerte. That's our first one, tentar la suerte. The second one is dar gracias que. Again, there are many ways to say this, so be creative. If you don't have the book yet, I get it. It's brand new. If you want the book, you can pick it up at vontienda.com. Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. All right, and the last one, cruzar los dedos o tener los dedos cruzados, right? Same thing. So you can use any one of those. I don't just want you to give me the expression. I want you to give it to me in context, preferably in your context. This way you know how to use it and you've got it ready for next time you need it. And I know, I just have a hunch, una corazonada, I have a hunch that we're going to get some really wonderful answers from our students. So let's go on over to our virtual classroom. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's see who's with us today. Laura, there she is. She says, good morning, beautiful show with no namers. Up and at 'em, arriba, y a por ellos vamos a conquistar este día. I love it. That's the attitude, and that is, how do we say it? Oh, wait. That's right. Totally native. You're really lucky, Double A. Hey, wait, Laura, this is crazy here. Because I didn't mention luck until, I mean, you wrote that comment before I brought up that we were going to look at luck today. So, wow, that's pretty crazy. We are on the same wavelength, en la misma onda. Good morning, beautiful show with no namers. Laura says, up and at 'em. You're really lucky, Double A. Some wonderful people have been paying you visits lately. Well, I'm lucky to have such wonderful friends. There's Kubla. He says, sup, kids? What's up, Kubla? There's my dad. What's up, Dad? Diego Alonso, tuning in from the US of A, and he's ready to rock, as always. My dad says, good morning, Alberto, friends and family. Greetings once again from the lovely Indian Park, a hidden corner of paradise. Enjoy the moment that soon it shall pass. Ooh, feeling philosophical. Feeling philosophical. There's Leo. Leo says, good morning, friends. Speaking, we got a lot of philosophers here. My dad, Leo. Good morning, friends. I'll try to live up to you today. Well, Leo, you always live up to our expectations. You gotta no decepcionar. To live up to, dar la talla, might be a good translation. Even though I'm still a bit dazed after happily turning my liver into a pool of beer the day before yesterday. Very punny. Very, very punny, Leo. I like it. I love it when you play with words. There's Vero. Vero says, morning, beautiful people. We missed yesterday's show with No Name Dose, at least me. Oh, they didn't. Did they put anything on? I thought they put on a repeat. Yeah, yesterday I had a group of kids, 36 kids, and we had a great time. It was cool. And wow, I was thoroughly impressed with their English. So yeah, yesterday we had a little event over at the studio. So yeah, well, don't worry, you'll always have it. This is why I tell you guys, download the Vaughn Radio app, and there's always going to be a show with No Name at 10:30. So wherever you are in the world, you'll never miss the show with No Name. And I don't know, maybe they played one from 7 years ago. Maybe I don't even sound like that anymore. Well, as you get older, your voice gets deeper and raspier, right? Didn't you notice that? Even singers, when you go see a group like the Rolling Stones, you're like, he sings great. He's Mick Jagger. That's him. But it's not the same. You don't hit those same notes, So, Vero, great to have you on board. There's Born to Iron Man saying, morning, friends. What's up, Born to Iron Man? I got your email. Thank you. Thank you very much. Chris says, good morning, guys. Oh, Leo, maybe you can help your liver with a pair of milk thistle tea. Ooh, nice. Chris is coming at us with the remedies. I love it. Or drink less. No, I'm joking. Water's great for everything, isn't it? El agua vale para todo. Am I wrong? Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. But water, H2O, doesn't matter what your ailment is, tu mal. All right, let's take a look here. We got some more comments rolling in. There's Kubla. There's Kubla. It's your birthday. Well, no, it isn't, but es el típico, go Kubla, it's your birthday. And he says, I tried my luck yesterday, and I succeeded at reaching out to one of my friends. Great job, Kubla. To try. Yeah, you say tentar. We don't say to tempt luck, because tentar alguien. Are you trying to tempt me? But wonderful, Kubla. Excellent job. To try your luck. Laura says, it's a good thing it's not raining today because my daughter has a really important race. I'll keep my fingers crossed for her. Yeah. So keep your fingers crossed. My dad coming back with a little philosophy. And he says the definition of luck. See, to my dad, the word luck is an acronym. Write it down. Well, the question first. Let's look at the question. Porque es importante saber este phrasal verb. What does luck stand for? ¿Qué significa las letras luck? Luck stands for labor under constructive knowledge. Awesome. Dad, I never forget that when somebody says, oh, I never have any luck. Are you working? Are you working with the knowledge that you need? I love it. Dad, great philosophy. And it's so early, man. You are on it. Let's see. Speaking of on it, Nihad, he's always on fire with us. And he says, good morning, Mr. Alberto and friends. I wish you a day as bright as you. Oh, you guys are too kind. Demasiado majos conmigo. Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. The good news, folks. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name 2.0. We'll take a look at some more expressions with the word luck. Plus, we've got say what, we've got the spelling bee, we've got homophones, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos, we are here for another exciting edition. Always having fun, always laughing with our classmates. Nuestros compañeros de clase, our classmates. Yeah, my amigos. Oh, and did you hear that jingle I played for you before? Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to, and the kids scream, Vaughn Radio. That was the kids from yesterday. They did a great job. They even helped me make some jingles. I'll say it, I was impressed. If you guys are listening, I don't want to say the name of the school to protect the privacy, but wow, impressive, great job. It's amazing to see young people not even thinking about English as another language, just thinking of it as something they need to know. I think it's wonderful. All right, amigos, don't forget, you got a ton of amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. Download the free app, and you'll never, ever miss any of our programs. All right, amigos. Let's take a look over here as well. Really quickly, we've got a couple more expressions with the word luck that I wanted to look at, or that have to do with luck, not so much using the word luck, that are related to luck. Again, these are coming straight out of the book, Natural English, Tu Guía Definitiva del Inglés Natural. You can pick it up at the Vaughn Tienda. It's vaughntienda.com. Also, mark your calendars, folks, because do you know what's coming sooner than you think? The Book Fair. Feria del Libro, Madrid. Mark your calendars. The book fair is going to be kicking off May 26th to June 11th. Feria del Libro Madrid 2023. We're going to be there, as always, with tons of surprises, tons of appearances from all your Vaughn Radio friends, all our different authors. It's going to be tons of fun. We're all looking forward to it. Mark your calendars. I'm telling you, it seems like it's far away, but if you've got to make plans to get here, catch a flight, trains, you know how it goes. You know, May 20, that's a busy time of year. People are taking little weekend trips and doing things because the weather is absolutely beautiful. So May 26th to June 11th, make plans to come to the book fair in Madrid. We'd love to see you. Let's see. Chris says, you're really lucky, but please don't push it. Wonderful, Chris. To push it is another way of saying don't push your luck. O sea, se dice tanto que you can say don't push it. She says, I missed the second one, and hopefully I'm going to be in Madrid next week. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Well, we hope to see you at the, I was going to say Feria del Libro. That's not next week. I'm getting my events mixed up. Talking about the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. So many cool events. I'm getting mixed up. Well, folks, another one I wanted to look at. We looked at a few already, but to be in luck. That's another way of saying you're lucky. So somebody says, hey, Alberto, oh, man, I'm really thirsty. Do you have any water? Oh, you're in luck. I have a bottle right here. You're in luck. You're out of luck, which we usually pronounce outa. Ooh, you're out of luck. It's the same as saying you're unlucky, but it sounds a lot more native, right? And there's another one we say cuando has tenido realmente mala suerte. We say you're SOL, and we already looked at stands for, ¿no? So pregúntame en voz alta, what does SOL, ¿qué significa? ¿Cómo dirías esta pregunta? What does SOL stand for? SOL stands for shit out of, como se dice tanto junto esas dos cosas, shit out of luck. Estás jodidísimo, hombre, no tienes malísima suerte. So many expressions we've got too. And then there are all kinds of, what are these? These kind of superstitions that, if you break a mirror, if a black cat crosses your path, and all that jazz. All right, well, folks, we've got so much to do, so we're going to move right along to a section we call Say What? Say what? What? Yeah. It's the Say What soundbite every day and every night. It's the Say What soundbite. All right, not every night. Well, whatever. Listen to it whenever you want. Every day and every night. It's the Say What soundbite. Yeah. All right, folks. I think today's is going to be pretty easy, but you know what? I'm just going to put it in your hands, and we'll see what you guys come up with. As always, the ground rules, las reglas en general. You're going to hear this 4 times. The 5th time, the final time we hear it, I'm going to reveal who it is, what's being said, and all the little nuances, matices, things we want to pay attention to. But at first, I just want you guys to write down as much as you possibly can. And I want you to give me your best observation in your best English. All right. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
I was in a relationship for a few years, and I think in the time I was in the relationship, all dating communication went exclusively to text. You can't call anybody anymore. If you call someone, they're like, what Are you on fire? Then quit wasting my time.
All right. Whoa. Sounds pretty intense. I think the person speaks clearly, IMO, in my opinion. All right. Well, let me give it to you a second time, and then we'll discuss. Lo hablamos entre nosotros. Here it is, the Say What soundbite for the second time.
I was in a relationship for a few years, and I think in the time I was in the relationship, all dating communication went exclusively to text. You can't call anybody anymore. If you call someone, they're like, what? Are you on fire? Then quit wasting my time.
All right, there you go, folks. There you go. What did you hear? Oh, and by the way, I notice we've got a message over here. Somebody left us a voice message. How exciting! I wonder who it is. I wonder if it's one of you folks. I wonder if it's somebody from back in the day. Well, instead of wondering who it is, let's give it a listen.
Hi, thanks for calling the show with no name. I can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone.
Good morning, Alberto. Chris Barrol speaking. This morning, I went to the police station to renew my ID. And guess what? I told the policeman that my English class started at 10:30 on the radio. He asked me what station it was, and I told him about the variety of programs that Von offers. As you say, any occasion is a good one to spread the word. And well, this is my little anecdote for today. Please say hello to my awesome mates. Bye-bye.
All right, there you go, folks. Chris Valrol leaving us a message. Awesome, Chris. You sounded awesome. And thank you for spreading the word or the magic. Thank you so much. And a couple things I'm going to point out. As always, guys, this is a great exercise for me to help you individually with your pronunciation and in turn help others. Now, if you haven't participated, here's my question. Why? Why haven't you participated? Are you nervous? Tell me why. Maybe I can help you. But Chris, that was absolutely fantastic. You sounded great. So I'm going to highlight a few things that I thought were done perfectly and a couple things that we can improve on. And I know you'll take this advice and run with it. Because I know you, Chris. Sé que vas a coger y vas a hacer algo con ello. Vas a transformar esto. So, and I think all of you, if you, we can remember, these are not just Chris's little things. These are little things that I've heard mispronounced by many, many people. So firstly, thank you, Chris. Wonderful job. If you have something to share with us, and you can share it in a minute, I think as long as you introduce yourself and tell us a little story, because you don't want to go on and on. So keep it at a minute. I'd rather have you participate more times and have short little snippets that we can comment on. So if you'd like to participate, and I don't know why you wouldn't, I can help you with your pronunciation. You know, I mean, we weren't able to do that when I started doing this show. When I was your age, oh no, I sound like a freaking grandpa over here, don't I? When I was your age. But Chris, wonderful job. If you want to join Chris and the other students who've already participated, it's so easy. All you got to do is pick up your phone, hit record. I know you do it. I know you send your friends 20-minute podcasts. Well, you call them voice messages. I call them podcasts. Anything over 5 minutes and a voice message, you better be good friends. Debería ser buen amigos. So pick up your phone, say, hey, Alberto, hey, classmates, just wanted to say I'm new to Vaughn Radio. I've been listening to Vaughn Radio for 100 million years. Tell us your story. Tell us something you learned this past week. It doesn't even have to be something profound. It can be something just as simple as, I thought this was a curious or interesting thing that I came across, that I stumbled upon in my last English class. So we can't wait to hear from you. And all you have to do is send us a 1-minute voice message to write this down, alonso@grupovon.com. Also, let's take a look really quickly before we look at what you guys heard in the Say What soundbite at what Chris had to say. Thank you for spreading the word to the police. So careful with the pronunciation. I think you said police, possibly. It's police. Open the door, police. Police. Police, right? It's a difficult one. I've heard the word mispronounced many, many times, Chris. So don't think this is not just yours. You got to share the mistake with everybody. Okay. The pronunciation, well, it's not a mistake. We need to just fix it a little bit. Police. Okay. Que también es vigilar. Police are policing the area. Toma, double trouble. I love the word ID. It sounded so natural. Instead of saying, I was getting my identification, or as some students say, I was getting my DNI, I said, you know what? An American won't know what a DNI is. We don't have that. So you would have to say ID, which stands for or means it's short for identification. So great job there. Chris, you really finished the word started beautifully. You don't know how many people say, I start work yesterday. And I'm like, started. You did it beautifully. I heard that ED and it was crisp and it was nice. It sounded really good. Now, the same emphasis that you put on that started, that was beautiful, I'm going to ask you to put on asked, because you were just missing that T sound at the end. Again, very, very common pronunciation problem that I've come across. So I ask, vamos a darle fuerte, porque siempre si le damos fuerte, siempre podemos suavizar. So I want to ask you a question. Pero fijaos, si lo digo junto, digo, I want to ask you, ya se une, right? So ask me a question. Yesterday I asked. Yo sé que es difícil, Chris, but I know you can do it. So we got to add that asked. Es dificilísimo, lo sé. Okay. Also another one, which we could have improved a little bit, putting together, because you said I told him, right? I was missing that D sound. And remember, like we said at the beginning, I warmed up. I want you to put the D sound with him. Y yo me como la H, tú haz como quieras. You can say I told him, told Tim, I told Tim, told them. But I would say I told him, dim. Ojo, just so you know, but we got to hear that D, even if it's just a little bit. And congratulations, you pronounced one of the most difficult words correctly, variety. So, Chris Valrol, an example, a role model, I would say. Excellent stuff. All right, let's see. Speaking of Chris, she says, indeed, water is wonderful, but sometimes a liver needs a little help from its friends, not his, right? It's, porque es una cosa, its friends' plants. Oh, yeah. I tell me about it. A doctor told me, you got a little extra fat on your liver. Gracias. And so I was taking these pills as well. And now I'm careful. I'm being a little more careful. We got to take care of ourselves, guys. The older we get, you know how it works. Let's see. Laura says, wow, Chris, you sounded wonderful. Absolutely. Vero, too, cheering you on. I love to see how you cheer each other on. Vero says, wow, Chris, you sounded magically sweet. No doubt about it. Let's see. Kubla says, astonishing, Chris. That a girl. Awesome. Okay, let's see. We've got now some people participating in our Say What soundbite. The first one is Leo. Let's see. Leo says, I think he's a comedian making fun of a relationship he had for a few years, where the only way to communicate with his date partner, okay, or with his partner directamente, was through text messages. It is a sign of the times. So stop your crying, it's a sign of the time. You gotta get away from here. Oh, sorry, I broke into a Harry Styles song. So great, Leo, as always, you have a way with words. Let's see. Laura says, I heard an American man complaining about the fact that people nowadays don't communicate talking on the phone. They just text. He can speaks from experience. Laura, quick. That S we don't put in there because can, we don't touch the verb, right? So no coge ese. So he can speak, sin ese, from experience. All right, all right. Let's see, Kubla. I heard an African American discussing dating and modern ways to reach out to your soulmate. Nice, nice. He said all he did during his relationship was texting. Calling was thought to be a no-no and considered butting in. All right, all right. Leo says, you are incredible, Chris. Your message sounds so warm-hearted. I love it. Chris, hey, you already know my opinion, and now you know your classmates' opinion as well. Let's see, Chris, aside from receiving so many comments and so much praise, she's like, but I'm still working hard. She's participating, and she says, I'd say I heard an American man, American con mayúscula, please. I heard an American man, a comedian. He speaks about relationships and how people tend, not tends, right? Because tends is he, she, or it. So estáis a tope con la S hoy, ¿eh? I'm joking. Pero veo esos que se escapan ahí hoy, ¿eh? So let's review. When we use can, we don't touch that. We don't say he can works. We say he can work. De hecho, ni decimos can. He can work. Can he work? Kenny? Kenny? Who? Kenny from South Park? Yeah, can he work? Yeah, he can work. He can. ¿Tú quieres decirlo como está escrito o como lo decimos? Up to you. Okay, so let's see how people tend to communicate with their significant other by text messages. Great. Excellent job, Chris. Born to Iron Man says, sweet voice, Chris. Great job. Absolutely. And great job to all of you who participated in the Say What soundbite. Now it's time for our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our spelling bee. And just in case you forgot what radio station you're listening to, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Bon Radio.
Oh, yeah. Listen, did they say Vaughan? Did they say Bon? No, they said Como vibraban ahí, Von Radio. Again, great job to the young people and parents. Again, it's in your hands. You got to keep these kids motivated. They don't like English. You just haven't found the vein yet. Because they like dinosaurs? Well, just put on the dinosaur shows in English, right? Take them, okay, we're going to go to a place where they only speak English in New York, and we're going to go see dinosaurs at the Museum of Natural History, but you have to speak English the whole time. Right. So again, there are ways, I hate to say it, but to manipulate kids, right? Don't worry. They do their share of manipulating. Ellos sí que hacen su parte también, su turno. But as long as you're, getting them to love learning, I hate the word manipulating, but what you're doing is saying, wait, you want to do this? Let's do it in English, and I do it. A great thing, one of the most difficult structures for all different levels is the structure whose, de quién. Because people say whose is the car, whose it, whose. And my daughter knows it, and she knows it very well. Why? Well, I don't know about you guys, but we've got laundry every fucking day in this house. I colada, we got to do a load every day, at least one load of laundry. So when we're folding the clothes, I'm like, I'll pick up her pants, sus pantalones. O sea, estamos trabajando prendas y el whose en singular y en plural, right? So I say, whose pants are these? I'm like, are these mine? Are these mommy's? No, they aren't, mom. No, and sooner or later, and before, I know what you're thinking, but ¿qué si no sabe la estructura? Then you have to say it and say it again and say it again until the kid gets it. So at first, my daughter would just watch me fold the clothes, or my wife. And I would say, whose pants? I would elicit the negative too. I'm like, whose socks are these? are these mommy socks? No. And she would move her, she would start to, and I would say, no, they aren't mommy socks. Are they your socks? No, they aren't yours. Are they my socks? And I would just go through them all before she could even speak. And now she says, no, Bobby, they're not yours. Those are mine. I'm like, ¿Qué? I'm like, qué facilidad. Why? It was a game. It was me telling her, these are my socks. And then they're obviously Minnie Mouse socks. They're not mine. Okay, I admit it. They're my socks. All right, fine. You caught me. I love Minnie and Mickey and Donald and Pluto and all of them. All right, guys, it's time for our spelling bee, or else we're not going to have enough time. This is round one. These words will be capitalized. I'm giving you 6 words right now. Good luck. We'll see if you can get them on the first go. If not, don't worry. You got a second go. So I prefer if you wait. If you can't get them or you're not sure on the first go, hang out, because the second one, I think everybody should be able to get them. The first word is DEUTERONOMY. The second word is ECCLESIASTES. The third one is ZECHARIAH. The fourth one is EPHESIANS. Me está costando la vida a mí, so I can't even imagine. The fifth one, THESSALONIANS. And the sixth one, the last one, REVELATION. Oh my God, these are tough, folks. We'll see if you can get these words on the first go. If not, don't worry, my brothers and sisters. I will go through this list again. For all of my show with no namers and all the members of the congregation. Hey, I'm giving you a clue. Guys, the only problem is right now, we've got to go to our second commercial break here. I can't believe it. Yeah, well, we'll do round 2 right when we get back. But we're going to take a 2-minute break, 3 minutes tops, and we'll be back with the rest of today's show with no name. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Yeah. Woo. That's right, folks. That's right. It's the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And man, we are having a blast. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a blast. And that's pretty cool, man. I mean, this is my job. I'm your teacher, and I'm having fun. So you better be having fun. Más te vale. Oh, yeah. Come on, come on. That's right, my amigos. That's right, so much to do in our show. We still have to do our second round of the spelling bee. We've got Name That Movie. Don't worry, Chris. We got homophones, double trouble. Oh, man. Woo-hoo! We got a lot to do, and we've only got half the show left. The good news, you got amazing programs all afternoon and all evening here on Vaughn Radio, and you get fresh, brand spanking new programs every day, and it's free. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. If you're not following Vaughn, if you're not following Tosh Pasqua, Kyle Miller, Dave Boyce, myself, you're missing out. You want to be SOL? Shit out of luck? At least as far as English is concerned. All right, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, well, let's get right back into our spelling bee over here. And then, well, actually, let me read a couple comments. Let me see where we are over here. Chris says, thanks, Alberto, for correcting me. Thanks, mates. You're really great. Chris, just doing my job. All right, let's see. Laura says, I'll push my luck, tentaré la suerte, with the Say What soundbite. And ladies and gentlemen, at first glance, it looks awesome. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, I don't know, but it looks like it's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Say What soundbite winner. It's Laura. Wow, Laura. Unbelievable, Laura. You guys are doing a wonderful job all across the board today. This is wonderful stuff. All right, let's see if anybody got the spelling bee on the first go. Laura also says, it's amazing how easily children learn. They are like sponges. Yeah, I know. You know, it's a cliche, but it's true. It's so true. And Chris Valrol says, Laura, impressive. There she goes. There she goes again. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got another winner among us. The winner of today's spelling bee, unfriggin' believable, born to Iron Man. Excellent job. You guys are kicking ass today. Born to Iron Man, Kubla, Nihad, Vero, Lupe as well, Chris Valrol. Are you guys telling me I got to go faster in the spelling bee? I mean, I didn't check them all. I checked. The only one I checked is Born to Iron Man. So this is perfect because this will give you guys an opportunity to check and make sure you guys got it right. Also, guys, a nice round of applause for Nihad. He also got the Say What soundbite along with Laura. Wonderful. You guys, unbelievable. Seriously, what's going on? Did you guys? I mean, you do a great job every day. But what's going on? I mean, whoa. I'm not complaining. No. Don't get me wrong. Quite the contrary. I'm like, wow. This is good, guys. That's the reaction you want from your teacher. All right, let's go through our spelling before the second time, and we'll check the answers really quickly. Round 2, here we go. The first word is DEUTERONOMY. The second one is ECCLESIASTES. The third one is ZECHARIAH. The fourth one is EPHESIANS. The fifth one is THESS. Alonians. Son largas, eh? It's not my fault. Blame the Bible. These are all chapters from the Bible. Son capítulos de la Biblia. I know some of you have figured that out already. And the last one, and literally the last one, Revelaciones, you call it the same? Revelation. All right. So there you go, folks. These are all chapters from the Bible. The three first ones are from the Old Testament, brothers and sisters. The good word of the Lord. Hey, fascinating. There's nothing in the world like faith. I'm serious. Faith can move mountains. You believe, and okay, maybe it's not God, but have faith in yourself, right? That you can do whatever you really want to do, as long as it's kind of realistic, right? You know, I want to race Elon Musk to the moon. Well, unless you've got a huge bank account, that's not too realistic. But like I told the kids yesterday, I said, you can do whatever you want to do in this world, and it's never been easier. I go, when I was a kid, if you wanted to have a book published, you'd have to have a publishing company, sign you. And now you can publish your own books on the internet. Anybody who has a computer or a phone can be a creator. You have an idea for a movie, a short, a commercial, a voiceover. I mean, you could do what do you want to do? And I told the kids, that's the power you have. Don't wait for somebody else to make your idea happen. You can do it. And I couldn't when I'm not making excuses, but when I was your age, we had to wait for these gatekeepers to open the door for us. And now, if you've got a following on YouTube or wherever, or Twitch or Twitter, TikTok, Netflix or whoever is going to come knocking on your door. So things have changed tremendously. And again, Netflix, who wants to work for Netflix when you can work for yourself? All right, that's my philosophy. Remember, last week we looked at entrepreneurship on FYI with my great friend Fran. And I think it's a fascinating episode. If you haven't listened to it, give it a listen. And there's something special for Show with No Namers, for people listening right now. Usually the bonus episode is exclusively for my subscription students. But if you go over to my Patreon, it's open to everybody. It's a public post. It wouldn't normally be, but you just got to go over to my Patreon. It's my name, Alberto Alonso, and you'll find part 2 over there. You can download it. That's a little free gift to anybody who's listening right now. All right? Feeling lonely? Download that episode. No. You know what it is? The organ music made me like preachy. De repente me he puesto en plan como predicar. Well, at least I practice what I preach. Amen. Amen and hallelujah, folks. To practice what you preach is practicar con el ejemplo. To not be a hypocrite. To practice what you preach. So the 3 first ones we're going to look at are from the Old Testament. Deuteronomy is the first one. Now, I imagine these are pronounced a little bit different, but they're recognizable, right? Deuteronomy. Okay, that's the first one. I always thought when they used to say that one in Sunday school, catequismo, las clases que estaban en la iglesia, they would say Deuteronomy. I'm like, dude, look like a lady. Dude. Deuteronomy. It's a funny one, right? In fact, I've called some of my friends as a joke. What's up, Deuteronomy? Hey, te he dicho que hay que jugar con las palabras? Pues yo lo hago también. Right? My daughter's doing it all the time. I practice what I preach. The next one is Ecclesiastes. I chose difficult ones to say and to write. I know, I'm evil. So Ecclesiastes was the next one. The next one is Zechariah. And those 3 were from the Old Testament. Then I chose a few from the New Testament. And that's Ephesians. The 4th one was Ephesians. The 5th one was Thessalonians. And the 6th one, revelation. And the reason I chose these was because today in history, in the year 1455, it is supposedly, now when these, around this date, there aren't exact dates when we talk about the blues and certain events in history, but they agree that this is the date of the publication of the Gutenberg Bible. Now, why is this important? Well, aside from being the good book, the Bible, the one and only Bible, well, this is also the first Western book, okay, occidental, printed with movable type, which was a huge breakthrough, un avance, a breakthrough. Great word if you didn't know that word. So there we go, my amigos. Excellent job to all of you on our spelling bee. And since you did so well, I'm going to take you guys to the movies. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. Let's take a look at this movie we're going to look at over here. As always, I'm going to give you the trailer, and what I want you guys to do is see if you recognize the movie. And I'm even going to do it today with some sound effects. Why not? A reclusive beekeeper slowly pulls his dysfunctional family back together, but not without having to fight his son's previous dastardly cohorts. Whoa! Vaya palabrones! Jeez Louise! A reclusive. Well, if you're reclusive, it means you're a recluse. Fíjate cómo se pronuncian. Ermitaño. You don't... people who disappear from the public eye are recluse. The verb, the adjective, reclusive. So a reclusive beekeeper, and by the way, guys, there's an episode of FYI on bees. A beekeeper's apicultor, right? Abejero, colmenero. Oh, look at that. I didn't know that. A couple different ways to say that one. Literalmente alguien que guarda estos animales, bee. So check it out. It's a wonderful episode. We look at how important these little creatures are. So a reclusive beekeeper slowly pulls his dysfunctional family back together. And to pull them together is intentar juntarles a la fuerza. Sounds like pulling, right? And dysfunctional means caótico. Like if you live in a dysfunctional family, well, here, let's put it this way. What families really are functional, right? So people say, I come from a dysfunctional home. Yeah, you say disfuncional, con deficiencia. No, that's a person. Yeah, a family that has a lot of issues, right? We say, my father's an alcoholic. My mother beat up me and my brother up. This kind of stuff. This would be called a dysfunctional family. And again, you can judge someone else's family, but you always have to look at your own too. So he pulls his dysfunctional family back together, but not without having to fight his son's previous, fijaos en la pronunciación, previous dastardly, wow, this is a cool one, dastardly cohorts. And dastardly is cruel, right? Cruel, it says in English, mean and cowardly. O sea, malo, pero también encima cobarde, right? And the word dastardly, there's a character called Dick Dastardly. Okay, no sé cómo se llamaba. Vamos a ver si lo encontramos en español here. 7 languages. Español. Dick Dastardly. Pierre Nodoyuna, cuyo nombre original is Dick Dastardly. Okay, and this is from Hanna-Barbera, a very classic cartoon. the wacky races, las carreras locas, chifladas. Hombre, por una vez que usamos la palabra chiflada. So that word you'll know from that character. I love that. I love those wacky races. And then the last word that we look at in the trailer part is cohort. Okay, and a cohort is séquito, cohorte. Ah, mira, fíjate. Compañero. Chris got a lot of praise and deserved praise from her cohorts, sus colegas, secuaces, cómplices, right? And there you go, my amigos. And it looks like we've got some winners over here. Please give it up for your classmates. The first one to get it, Kubla, followed by Chris. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The movie is called Yuli's Gold. Now, no quiero saber cómo le cambiaron el nombre en español. It's called Yuli's Gold. The movie came out in 1997. I actually remember watching the trailer when it was on HBO. Yeah, HBO was one of the first cable channels in the United States. And Peter Fonda was in this movie from the famous Fonda family, Jane Fonda. His father was Henry Fonda. Peter Fonda wore his father's watch throughout the film, a lo largo de la película, as a good luck charm. Mira, estábamos hablando de la suerte antes. Good luck charm, un amuleto, algo que llevas encima para que te dé suerte. It's a good luck charm. And the movie did really well, so I guess it worked. This was also Jessica Biel's film debut. So this is the first time we saw Jessica Biel in a film. Now we know she's an actress. I think she's a great actress too, and a producer. Also, this is Peter Fonda's only Oscar-nominated performance. All right. And there's a little coincidence, a real-life parallel here, that Peter Fonda's dad, Henry, who we just mentioned, he was an amateur beekeeper, apicultor, for a period while he was acting, while he was an active in the acting world. So interesting parallel over there. So I'm sure he drew from, cogió de, sacó de, seeing his father doing it as a hobby. All right, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen. Ulysses. Now, this is an interesting one because I've heard Irish people say Ulysses, and we say Ulysses in the States. So, ya, para que sepas, lo oirás al menos de dos que yo lo he oído correctamente. Ulysses, they say Ulysses, we say Ulysses. So I'm American, so I'm going to say it my way. Ulysses says, once you're better, en cuanto estés mejor, I don't care what you do. Me importa un bledo que haces. But you're not moving. No te vas a mover until all that poison is out of your body. Even if only for a day. Si solo es por un día. Now, obviously, we're talking about addiction here, right? Una adicción. And Helen says, oh, man, you always think you know, don't you? ¿No crees que lo sabes siempre, no? Question tag. And Ulysses says, well, I know better than to run from responsibility. Sé mejor que hacer tal cosa. No? So I know better than to run from, huir de, you can say to run or to run away from, responsibility. And Helen says, is that right? ¿Eso es correcto? Sí, no me digas, right? Is that right? So depende, because if you usually say it in a sarcastic way, is that right? No me jodas, no me digas, right? So Ulysses says, right. And Helen says, there's all kinds of running, Yuli. Hay todo tipo de correr, huir, right? Your body might have stuck around. Does that sound familiar? Stick, stuck. Stick around. O sea, tu cuerpo se ha quedado por aquí, no se ha ido. Your body might have, quizá ha hecho tal cosa. Might have stuck around. And that lousy bully part of your mind, ¿no? Esa parte de tu mente que te atormenta, que es como un bully. But your heart took off a long time ago. Se fue tu corazón hace mucho tiempo. Took off. Despegó. Se fue. And Ulysses says, oh, You can't say that. That's not true. And Helen Jackson says, maybe you're right. Quizá tengas la razón. Maybe you're right. Maybe you never cared about anything, about anybody, year after year, año tras año. Nothing touches Yuli. Nada le afecta. No tanto tocar. Nada le afecta. Nothing touches Yuli. And Ulysses says, no. It was you and Jimmy who wanted too many shortcuts. Queríais demasiados atajos. I told Jimmy if he went down that road, si eligiera ese camino, if he went down that road, I wouldn't lift a finger. Apúntate esta. No haría ni la más remota, ni nada. No, if you say, you haven't lifted a finger. We've been cleaning the cabin all weekend and you haven't lifted, no has hecho nada, ni el amago. No has levantado ni un dedo, no? No te has movido un dedo. Great expression. I wouldn't lift a finger to help him. And you both managed major fuck-ups, cagadas, faux pas, si queremos ser más francés. And Connie says, and not Connie, our listener, but Connie says, Yuli, come on. Venga, come on, por favor. And Ulysses says, I mean, who the hell are you, Mrs. Helen Jackson? ¿Quién demonios, quién cojones es Helen Jackson? A mother, wife? No, you're nothing. No eres nada. So obviously a drama. All right, folks, before our commercial break, let's take a look at our homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. This is where I'm going to give you two words. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to A, tell me the words. And then B, I want you to tell me if they sound exactly the same. Real simple. Now, as always, these words have one, two, sometimes even more meanings. Sometimes they can be phrasal verbs. Sometimes they can be part of an idiomatic expression. So don't ever think on the surface, en el superficie aquí. Don't ever think on the surface. Here, think we're learning two ideas, two concepts that can help us in many, many different areas. And usually these, if I choose these, it's because people mix them up from time to time. And throughout my 20 years of teaching experience, I know the big ones. Me sé los grandes. Also, you guys are telling me autos locos, correcto. That's right. I remember Damian telling me, because it's in our first book. This book is The Milk, the first book we did together. We talk about Dick Dastardly and some of the characters. So, oh man, you guys, I can see you guys love wacky races. Que al final es igual. Wacky races. Autos locos. Ah, wow. Bueno, aunque decís coches, ¿no? Autos. That's more Latin American, if I'm not mistaken. Well, either way, we'll take it, considering it doesn't say autos locos chiflados que están de carrera. You know, we know how we like to get literal sometimes. All right, the two words. The first word is, it's got a couple meanings. It's ley, norma, derecho, la policía, que ya sabemos pronunciar, justicia, tribunales. Man, it's got a lot of uses. The second word is bajo, poco, a baja altura, abajo, right? These are just some of the uses. As you know, we'll take a look at all these uses a little bit more in depth after this quick commercial break. I can't believe it, folks. We'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you got Ximena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. And you can also pick up her latest book, Natural English. It's available at vaughntienda.com. Or stop by. We'd love to see you. Also, guys, I just heard yesterday from Kike when I was over at our headquarters. If you want to get the full Disney collection, the one that's been coming out every Saturday, well, I don't know about you. I missed a couple. So now you can get them individually, or you can get the whole Disney collection. I think it's a wonderful gift. And you can get more information at vaughntienda.com. Don't forget, too, our spots are filling up for our Vaughn Towns. We've also got our summer camps. Man, so much to do, so many things, but they fill up quickly. I know the book fair is going to be packed. I know our trivia night is going to be packed to the gills as well. All right, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, part 4. On your favorite radio station. What is it called? Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
That's right. Thanks so much for listening to Vaughn Radio. Thanks for spreading the word. You are our ambassadors, folks. All right, let's take a look at our homophones. I've got a lot of people participating here, which is magical. Let's see. The first person to participate is Kubla. And Kubla says it's and they don't sound the same. Kubla, those are the right words. Laura says the words are and they are not homophones. Born to Iron Man agrees. Chris agrees as well. Vero says they're not. Whoa. Hang on a second here. Some of my best students, what I call my super show with no namers, are telling me that these words don't sound the same. And, let's say I didn't speak the language. Let's say I would trust them. Do you guys trust them? Well, let's say both words. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Now, Chris, you brought up the word before, the word police. Now, everybody knows how to pronounce it, right? Police, not police, right? Police. But you can also say cops. Okay, esa cuesta también. But you can say the law, la ley. Man, if you don't want to have any problems with the law, you better not speed. Más te vale no hacer exceso de velocidad. To speed. Irregular verb. Speed, sped. He sped a lot when he was a kid. He doesn't speed now. That's me. Excuse me. As you can tell, guys, I can't get rid of this. I just got a little bit of phlegm left. As you know, I've been sick for over a week now. Not sick, deathly sick. But man, it's tough when you got phlegm that just won't come out. I know. TMI, too much information. Well, since you guys are hearing it, I just wanted to give you a little explanation, that's all. The first word, law. And I've heard this word mispronounced 1,000,000 times. And you know where? People say my mother-in-love or my mother-in-law. I've heard everything but my mother-in-law. Oh, that's the sound. Oh, my mother-in-law. Say it 1,000,000 times, because I know now when you're got time to think about it, it comes out right. But do you say law every time you have to say the word law? Because I hope you're not saying the word low, because those words do not sound the same. Great job to Kubla and company. our super show with no namers. Also, we have some super show with no namers who got our Say What soundbite. I believe it was Laura and Nihad. Well, guys, here's your last chance.
I was in a relationship for a few years, and I think in the time I was in the relationship, all dating communication went exclusively to text. You can't call anybody anymore. If you call someone, they're like, "What? Are you on fire? Then quit wasting my time."
All right. There you go, my amigos. There you go. That is your Say What soundbite. Hopefully, we'll get a few more people who can figure it out. But right now, it's time for another section that we haven't looked at yet. And I know you're missing it in your diet. It's called Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby.
Give it up.
You know what time it is.
Give it up.
Double,
Come on, come on.
double trouble.
Yeah.
I said double, double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the Show with No Name. And if you don't want to have any problems with the law, and I know I'm not a police officer, but I'm the law here on the show, right? In my English class, the teacher is the law, right? So if we don't want to have any problems with the law, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, something I know you guys do very well. As always, when you translate this sentence, bear in mind, tened en cuenta, that you have to use the same word twice. So it makes it a little bit trickier. Again, if you can't think of the exact one I've got, we've seen it many times. You guys use your creativity and you can come up with it on your own. On your own. All right, here it is, folks. Our Double Trouble. Te dije que no soplaras las velas. Eso es un golpe bajo. Te dije que no soplaras las velas. Eso es un golpe bajo. All right, that is your Double Trouble. I think it's relatively easy. And while you guys are thinking it through, pensándolo bien, I think we're going to move on to your joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking only on the Show with No Name. Those of you who are on social media, which is all of you who are at least participating right now, and those of you who write to me on social media, those of you who retweet and share my post, well, first and foremost, thank you. And not just on social media. Look at Chris. Chris was taking a look at, taking care of some business yesterday, running some errands, haciendo unos recados that she had to do. And she used that as an opportunity to say, hey, my English class. And she piqued the person's interest. And the person said, English class? What do you mean, 10th? Oh, yeah, it's on Vaughn Radio. It's not your traditional English class, right? It's not your run-of-the-mill, toma expresión, adjetivo, not your run-of-the-mill, el que sale de la fábrica, cualquiera. Run-of-the-mill, no es uno cualquiera. This is Vaughn Radio, and this is the Show with No Name. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
Hey, just in case you forgot what radio station you're listening to, remember, and this is so much more than a radio station. You can participate live on most of our shows using social media. So thank you, our ambassadors. Just seeing how you guys are comfortable with English, that's where people get curious. It's you that pique their interest, not so much Vaughn Radio. It's they see you like saying, oh, I got no problem with English. Okay, I make some mistakes or whatever, but no big deal. No, it's not gran cosa, no problem. I'm working on it, and I feel comfortable with English. And I like to listen to it. I like to watch it. I like to consume English. And then they see you like, not suffering and having fun with a smile on your face. And they say, how'd you do that? And that's where you say, oh, let me tell you about Vaughn Radio. Let me tell you about the show with no name, FYI, whatever floats your boat. But thank you so much. All right, let's take a look at our double trouble. The first person to take a stab at it is our poet, our resident poet. You know it. Poet, you know it. Leo. Let's see how you did, Leo. Let's see. The translation was, te dije que no soplaras las velas. Eso es un golpe bajo. Y hablando de esto es el negativo del infinitivo. Shakespeare, a poet, to be or not to be. Cuando dudas, ¿cómo es la estructura de I told him don't go? Well, you can say I told him, don't go, but you can also say I told him not to go. Le dije que no. Yes, I told him not to be crazy. So to be or not to be. Siempre tienes que pensar eso y te acordarás de cómo va. Porque en la afirmación, okay, I told him to be happy. Le dije que fuera feliz. I told him not to be sad. Cuesta un poco más, he visto, hay más. So just think of Shakespeare, just think of Leo, our resident poet. All right, let's see how you did, Leo. I told you not to blow out the candles. So far, so good with that negative of the infinitive. And then he says, that's a low blow. Excellent job. Awesome. Wow. I told you not to blow out the candles. That's a low blow. And 3 things wonderful there. You use the negative of the infinitive correctly. You put the preposition, because we don't say to blow the candles. We say to blow out the candles. Es un phrasal verb que se usa ahí, right? And then the expression, that's a low blow, que viene del boxeo, no? Un golpe bajo, right? He suffered a lot of blows, muchos golpes. So a low blow, uno bajo. We looked at the word low, and we know it's not pronounced like the word law. Just ask my mother-in-law, right? Okay, I know. That was a low blow. All right, I see some other people got it as well. So a round of applause to Leo. Kubla. What? Kubla, you got it to blow out. Vero, careful. You made that mistake that I brought up. I told you not to blow out the candles, right? Or to blow the candles out. Laura, you got it as well. And Chris, wow, so many people figuring it out. Wonderful job, guys. You are doing a magical job, and I'm going to reward you with some of my awesome jokes. Isn't that cool? No? Well, let's see if you get them. All right. We're going to see how well you guys get these corny jokes. No matter how corny they are, the pressure's on you. If you don't like the joke, it's not my problem. If you learn something, that's awesome. Okay, here we go. What did Adam say when he was asked, his favorite holiday? Chris, asked. Difícil, me ha costado a mí ahora mismo. So you say Adán, right? Oh, I guess we should get a little biblical. If we're getting biblical here, let's do it. So what did Adam say when he was asked his favorite holiday? It's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. No? It's Christmas, Eve. Well, I mean, you have to know your Bible. The Garden of Eden. You say then Eden. The Garden of Eden tells the story of Adam and Eve and the forbidden fruit, right? The serpent. So you get it? Adam and Eve. Christmas Eve es Nochebuena. Acuérdate, el Eve es evening, viene de evening. Right? No tanto en el nombre, creo, porque we don't call anybody evening. But claro, si vamos a hablar de Nochevieja, we say Christmas Eve. Okay? Perdona, Nochebuena. I always mix them up in Spanish. Christmas Eve. Nochevieja, New Year's Eve. Y los siguientes días, que son festivos aquí en España, el 25 y el 1, Christmas Day and New Year's Day, como la canción de U2. So you get it? What did Adam say when he was asked his favorite holiday? It's Christmas, Eve. Se lo preguntó Eve. Okay. All right, how do you know that Adams are Catholic? Espera un segundo aquí. Adams? Adanes? Well, this is an interesting one because Americans, myself included, we pronounce the word átomo lo mismo que Adam. Adam, the name. Como nuestra T es una D. So if you remember the Garbage Pail Kids, los Pandilla Basura, there was one called Atom Bomb. Adam Bomba, Atom Bomb. Bomba atómica. Like, hello. Ahí lo tenías. So that's interesting. I didn't do that play on words on purpose there. But atom in American English, nombre y átomo sound the same. So how do you know that Adams are Catholic? Y fijaos en la pronunciación, no es Catholic, sino Catholic. How do you know Adams are Catholic? Well, easy. They have Mass. Oh, no, I didn't. They have Mass? No. They have Mass? Misa? Masa? The same word in English. No masa de cocinar. That's dough. Esa es diferente. Pero masa, what is the mass of a neutron, electron, right? So mass, we talk about the mass of something, the size. So you get it? And Mass is, well, on Sunday, you can go to Mass. Puedes ir a misa. How do you know that Adams are Catholic? They have Mass. Tienen misa, tienen Mass. All right. Last one, guys. What did Daniel, uno de los personajes de la Biblia, Daniel, for us, it's interesting. If we're saying a man's name, we're saying Daniel. Daniel, my brother, which is a very cool song by Elton John. But if we're saying Danielle, que suena como Daniel, aquí, it's a woman's name. So be careful with that word in English. It sounds different depending on how you pronounce it. So what did Daniel tell his real estate agent? What did he tell his real estate agent, su agente o representante de inmobiliaria, ¿no? El que le vende o le compra casas. What did Daniel tell his real estate agent? I'd prefer a house with no den. You're kidding me. No? I'd prefer a house with no den. Well, a den is like guarida, cubil, madriguera. We talk about Daniel and the lion's den, ¿no? En la madriguera, I don't know cómo lo decís en español. It's a classic biblical story. Daniel and the lion's den. D-E-N, den. Que le den. Okay, I'll stop. Guarida, cubil. But also, your den is tu salón. It's another way of saying your living room. I don't know if they use it in England. In the United States, we say it. Where's Dad? He's in the den. He's in the living room in la guarida. Makes sense, doesn't it? So do you get it now? What did Daniel tell his real estate agent? I'd prefer a house with no den. All right, folks, time to move on to famous birthday trivia. That's right, folks. It's famous birthdays, and we have to fly through it. So everybody hold on to your hats. Our first birthday boy was born in 19 1940. He was the son of a famous actor named Henry. Rima con una compañía de motos. Honda. Okay. So his father was a famous actor. He's also the younger brother of Jane. Okay. And the father of Bridget. So obviously from an acting family. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Easy Rider. Qué peliculón. Easy Rider. Oh, man. Also, he was in Yuli's Gold. Today's Name That Movie. And he was also nominated there. He didn't get it. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor for that as well. Okay. But he did win the Golden Globe for Best Actor. Yuli's Gold. It was today's Name That Movie. So I said this person's name earlier. Number 2, this person was born in 1944, an American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer, born in 2014. One of the greatest or most respected guitarists, especially blues guitarists, ever. Okay, according to Rolling Stone, he's number 63. He was born in Beaumont, Texas, today in 1944. And his last name is one of the seasons, invierno. Oh, and he's an albino. So his skin, the pigment of his skin is very, very white, if he has any at all. So, all right. And last but not least, this next guy is not albino. He's actually dark-skinned. And he's an American comedian, actor, producer, and screenwriter. I first saw this guy in Parks and Recreation. I've told you guys probably a million times now, if you have not seen Parks and Recreation, Chris Pratt, I mean, it is like the greatest actors before they were like on the big screen. It's awesome. And it's really, really funny. So this guy got really famous doing that show, and now he's got his own comedy specials. He's huge. And you know who else is huge? Chris Valrol. Wow, Chris, I didn't even finish. Number 1, Peter Fonda. Number 2, Johnny Winter. And number 3, Aziz Ansari. And this is Aziz Ansari doing a comedy bit, and he's talking about texting and being in a relationship. So he says, I was in a relationship for a few years. And I think in the time I was in the relationship, all dating communication went exclusively to text. You can't call anybody anymore. Ya no puedes llamarle a nadie. If you call someone, they're like, ellos dicen, what are you, on fire? ¿Qué estás encendido? ¿Hay un incendio? ¿No? ¿Estás en llamas? Then quit wasting my time. You can say quit or stop, más el ing es dejar de hacer algo. Quit or stop wasting my time. So great job over there, Chris. And let's hear birthday boy Aziz Ansari.
I was in a relationship for a few years, and I think in the time I was in the relationship, all dating communication went exclusively to text. You can't call anybody anymore. If you call someone, they're like, what? Are you on fire? Then quit wasting my time.
All right, there you go, folks. Check out Parks and Rec. Monse recommends it as well. It's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name, name that lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name, it's name that lyric, only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric, and it's our final section. We literally have less than a minute. So thank you to all of you for your effort. What a great group, man. You guys kicked butt. You really kicked butt. Once again, awesome job. Awesome job. Remember, up next, you've got the one and only Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. And right now, we're going to take a look at Johnny Winter, our birthday boy, Johnny Winter. If you haven't heard him, give him a listen. Awesome blues, just a wonderful, talented guitarist. The song is called Memory Pain, and it goes, serves me right to suffer, me lo merezco. Serve me right to be alone. Lord, serve me right, Lord. It's another way of saying Lord. We looked at that word too in homophones the other day. Well, folks, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us again on the show with no name. Yeah. On the show. Yeah. Thank you so much, folks.